secret family dinner, two households finally united, and the entire fandom holding its breath as one unforgettable night rewrites everything. It began as nothing more than a quiet evening. No news alerts, no flashing cameras, no chaos trailing behind two of China's biggest stars. Just a serene restaurant tucked inside a calm district, where warm lamps glowed like soft constellations against the windows. Inside, the Wang family entered first, stepping into the stillness with a subtle mix of anticipation and grace. Yibo's mother gently placed her purse on the table, smoothing her scarf as if preparing herself for something meaningful. His father's eyes scanned the layout, calm, observant, quietly protective. There was an unspoken energy between them, the kind that exists only when a family knows a significant moment is approaching. Then, the door opened again. The Xiao family stepped inside with that familiar elegance, Zhan's mother offering a polite smile, his father carrying himself with a calm dignity that instantly softened the boundaries of the room. For a heartbeat, everyone just looked, not with hesitation, but with recognition, with something that resembled relief. Two mothers exchanged warm nods, as if silently saying, "It's finally time." Two fathers greeted each other with the understated confidence of men who had watched their sons grow through storms, and now wanted to understand the people who walked beside them. And behind them, side by side, sat Wang Yibo and Zhan. The way they entered the room wasn't dramatic, wasn't staged, wasn't meant for the cameras, but it carried the quiet glow of something deeply personal. Their eyes flickered with a soft warmth, a sense of safety, a moment of peace after years of being watched, examined, and judged by the outside world. This was not a scripted encounter. It was not a publicity move. It was simply honest. A moment all families eventually reach. The moment they choose to connect. Food arrived slowly, filling the table with comforting warmth, hot broth steaming gently, vegetables arranged with care, dishes meant for sharing. It felt like the kind of dinner families have when they want the night to matter. And gradually, the conversations began to flow. Zhan's father was the first to speak, expressing his admiration for Yibo's resilience. He praised the young man's discipline, the way he handles pressure, the way he carries his craft with seriousness and pride. Yibo's mother responded with a laugh so soft it felt like sunlight, sharing stories about Zhan's polite and gentle nature. Stories that reminded her of Yibo in his younger years. There was warmth, real warmth, passing through the table. A bridge formed quietly, without dramatic speeches or emotional declarations. Just sincerity, just understanding, just two families slowly discovering how much they had in common. And then, someone mentioned a line that would stay etched in everyone's memory. It's good they take care of each other. The room paused, not from awkwardness, but from the emotional weight behind that simple truth. The sentence hung in the air like a blessing wrapped in humility. Smiles spread around the table. Not the polite kind, but the genuine kind. The kind that says, "We see them, we understand them, and we're okay with this." A wordless approval began to bloom, delicate but powerful. No fireworks, no dramatic applause, just a deep, quiet acknowledgement. A foundation had been laid, one the fandom never expected to witness in their lifetime. Outside the restaurant, the world still didn't know what was happening. But secrets this meaningful rarely stay quiet for long. A whisper slipped out, a tiny leak, a small clue from someone who happened to witness the two families gathering. And within minutes, the internet ignited. Weibo exploded so fast it was as if millions of hearts pressed the refresh button at the exact same moment. Hashtags climbed the rankings like unstoppable flames. Not rumors, not arguments, but waves of pure emotion. Is this real? I'm shaking. Someone hold me. They met the families. They met the families. This feels like a drama finale, but it's real life. I can't stop crying. I've waited years for this. Fan art began appearing within the hour. Edits, some soft, some dramatic, spread across TikTok. International fans translated every single update in real time. Entire groups gathered online just to scream, cry, and celebrate together. This wasn't fandom chaos. This was fandom unity, a global heartbeat, racing in sync for one unbelievable moment. Because at its core, this wasn't about speculation. This wasn't about fantasy. This wasn't even about shipping culture. It was about witnessing two people who have endured pressure, criticism, endless expectations, finally receive something precious. Warmth, support, a little piece of happiness they didn't need to hide. And fans felt it, deeply, inside the restaurant. Unaware of the storm they had unintentionally created online, the families continued their quiet dinner. Yibo's phone buzzed continuously, notifications piling like waves, but he simply glanced at the screen, then hid a small, amused smile. Zhan checked his own device and let out a tiny, breathless laugh, the kind that escapes when a person feels both overwhelmed and grateful at the same time. Their eyes met, and there was an unmistakable exchange of understanding, a warmth that didn't need words. Around them, the parents laughed more freely now. The tension had dissolved, leaving behind only comfort, connection, and the soft beauty of a night that went better than anyone dared to imagine. By the time the dishes were cleared and everyone stood to leave, the entire atmosphere felt transformed. Lighter, softer, warmer, as if something long overdue had finally been allowed to happen. As if a door had quietly opened to a future they were no longer scared to step into. So what does this dinner truly represent? Respect, understanding, and the gentle truth that sometimes the most important moments in life unfold quietly, without spectacle, without announcement, just sincerity. Two families came together not because they were forced to, but because they cared about connection. They wanted to know the people who stand beside their sons. They wanted peace, warmth, and clarity, and they found it. For fans, this night becomes a memory etched in gold, a validation of years of loyalty, hope, and emotional investment. A reminder that behind the spotlight, behind the noise, behind the endless speculation, there are human hearts that also seek comfort and understanding. If this night is the beginning of something new, if this dinner is the soft first chapter of a deeper bond, then perhaps what we are witnessing is not an ending, but a beautiful, unexpected beginning. Hold this moment close. Let it warm you, because stories like this, stories filled with sincerity and quiet courage, are rare. And this one is far from over.